Alrighty. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Your Blissful Journey channel, where we aim for bringing in all sorts of people, all sorts of ways that we can support women who are just looking for a little bit of extra. And I really want to compliment everybody who is willing to say, I need help, because that was the biggest thing that those were the best words I ever said. It got me changing. And one of the people I reached out to help is the fabulous Dr. Heather Tucker. And she's here today. Dr. Heather is a business and life harmony coach, harmony and success coach. And she helps women who are ready to move out of overwhelm and into calm, confidence, and constant flow. And while she does have the business aspect in her name, we know that your job is a business. Your business is a job. It's a profession. It's whatever. Anything that you do to promote, ah, well, it can be your income. You can be working with your kids at home. I mean, it's life. Life is work. So that's just how I should
There
say
you
that.
go.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be bad. Work is not a bad name, but there you go. I got a little tongue-tied around that. But she brings together her unique blend of coaching, communication, and human computer interaction to help her clients attract the right people, confidently charge what they're worth. So asking for what you need, right, is another way to say that, and create real freedom in their lives. And through her coaching and certification programs, she guides women to master their inner world, release the patterns that hold them back, and take aligned action that actually feels good to sustain. Her work blends strategy, mindset, and energy in a way that creates lasting results, helping her clients grow their income, their strength in their leadership in their life, and build the life that is truly supporting the way they want to live. She's also a project manager and lead author of two-time international best-selling series, The Power of Coaching, and a host of the Freedom Fridays show, where she inspires entrepreneurs to lead with confidence and create their own versions of business life harmony. So, welcome, Dr. Heather. I'm so glad you're here today because you are a wealth of information, and we can talk for hours as we have. But today we're going to try to stay focused here a little bit on what you have to share with my audience today. And so the first question that comes to mind for me is, what are you seeing right now with women who look like they're managing their life really, really well, but underneath, they just are unraveling. They're feeling overwhelmed.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Thank you so much for having me, first of all, Sally. I'm super happy to be here. And that is such a great question. It's interesting because there was a statistic that I heard literally a couple of weeks ago. And it said how 70% of people experience imposter syndrome. So there's a conflict of how they show up in the world versus how they feel inside. And I
mhm.
feel like one of the biggest challenges that's happening, especially for women, it's like, especially if you have multiple roles, right? For some reason, like I live the mom, wife, and CEO life. And that was one of the things where there was so much disharmony. How do I create the harmony so there's that flow? Because it is about, that a lot of people want to say work-life balance, but I like to say work-life harmony because we know, especially as women, that work and life are never equal. So we want to have a flow and a fluidity with it. And I feel like that's one of the things that is bringing such a big challenge for women is that they're so overloaded. There's so many things to do, and there's a challenge with just being calm, centered, and balanced while we do it and doing it from a place of ease, grace, and flow, as compared to we've normalized stress and overwhelm and operating in that capacity.
Right.
Another thing that happens is that we can actually take on. So, one of the things that I heard years ago was that, and I can't remember what speaker I heard it from, but I always remembered it. It talks about how the woman is the emotional GPS of the family.
Yes.
So as women, we not only have our thoughts, mind, energy, perceptions, and what's going on within us, we also have other people in our world and are paying attention to their thoughts, their energy, their mindset. And the more kids that you have, bless the people who have more than 5 kids. Luckily, I have 3, and I can feel all these different things. And so it's about being able, the biggest challenge is not being able to give from our overflow. We're giving from our energy and having a lot of depletion and exhaustion and anxiety. And when we don't feel good inside, that actually impacts how we show up and how we are outside. Maybe there's frustration, maybe there's anger, or maybe there's rage, or there's all this other things. Have you ever overreacted? Those are
Oh.
indications that there's something going on inside. And this is why I like to talk about winning the inner world to master the outer world. Because when we, and now I want to be able to share this too. Where does some of this come from? Like this extra pressure that we put on ourselves as women. It comes sometimes from society, thinking that women are supposed, well, women could do all the things back in the day before we're inundated with technology and all these things on a regular basis. So much coming to us, overloading our system. But so it can be from society. It can also be from pressure that we put on ourselves, that we have to be perfect. And I like to be able to think, and this is also coming from a recovering perfectionist and also struggled with imposter syndrome. And it's this part where you're perfectly imperfect. Like, I love to claim that I am perfectly imperfect. I am the queen of my domain. I am the leader. And I give from my overflow the best that I can. And you know what? I operate in less thinking and more trusting. See, one of the things that happens with all this stuff that's being inundated by like externally to us is that it can cause us to be in overthinking,
Hmm.
and a lot of times that can lead to doubt, that can lead to uncertainty, but also it can also cause us to not be able to really have that connection to our heart and to our body. We're called to be everything that we're called to be. That
Yeah.
allows us to do everything that we're called to do. And this having becomes this beautiful natural byproduct of that. We
Yeah.
tend to have learned that it's do all these things. We're going to be like a robot. We are not robots. We are human beings, not human doings. And I had to learn that because a lot of that pressure also comes from other people's expectations. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. Oh my goodness. When I learned that, I'm like, oh my goodness. So it was perfect. It was
Isn't
absolutely
that the truth?
perfect. You know,
Yeah.
so those are the biggest things where we're just, like I said, so much overwhelm that it creates I'm gonna look at it like this. Okay, I know this is a little piece of paper, but I'm gonna give you an example because I feel like some of y'all are visual, and visual is so important. So here we have this piece of paper. Here we are, shining and glowing and super excited. Oh no, a significant emotional event, right? Loss of a loved one, maybe someone that you care for is going through some kind of mental and emotional stuff. All these different things, news events, whatever's coming, so many emails. I can find myself getting an email overload.
Yeah.
But what happens is we can have these external events and we end up operating like a crumbled piece of paper because
Mm.
there's so many things that are like on us that's like, how can we breathe this way? And then,
Yeah.
okay, things calm down and I'm able to shine and expand again and be my true, authentic self. Oh no, another significant emotional event happens, and then we operate like this. So it's this part of it.
Mm,
I'll do it from an analogy like, okay, we're going up the hill, we're doing something, we're trying to live our best life, live our best like business, have awesome families, and then something happens and it brings us down. Heavy heart, overwhelmed mind, and then we climb up the pattern again and something else. So I got tired of operating like this because that was like what
mm,
we would normally do. And
mhm.
I shifted it to, okay, how can we have total exponential acceleration? Something happens and we look at it like, okay, is this within my control? Is this not within my control? Is this something that God's supposed to deal with? Or is it something, am I supposed to do anything about this or let this go? So therefore, I
Right.
can keep continuing to excel. What support do I need? Like all of these pieces. So
Yeah.
therefore, there's total exponential acceleration. Why is this something that's important? Is because living by itself multiplies life, meaning that we're called to have this continuous expression and love of life and enjoying the journey. There's this great song that I think about sometimes that talks about addicted to life. I'm so addicted to life, right? And living and love and all the high vibe things that we're called to experience. But when we're operating like this, we're in the
Yeah.
low vibe and the
Right.
everything's contracted and it's hard and it's so we have to be able to let go, lean into some of those things of what's calling us to be like this and
Yeah.
let go of a lot of the stuff, even from the inner world, because when you shift it from you, it shifts it externally.
Yeah. I love that thing you said about we're not supported by our hearts. And coming back, you've said so many fabulous things. I love that analogy because it's true. I mean, I'll go back to that. You crumple up and you're never the same again because when you straighten up that piece of paper, it's still a little off, right?
It
Even
is. You got
if
all
you've
of
done
these like wounds and it's like
all,
rank
yeah.
creases and stuff.
And our heart takes a lot of that. But we do think Heart Math does a fabulous exercise, and all it is paying attention to your heart. Let your heart just with your mind's eye go down there, and then let your heart expand and come up and support your mind, and let your
Hmm.
mind settle down into your heart space. And that in its own is is a very like grounding thing. But like and then we can be instead of do. And don't you find it's like that flow? I've decided I want to be on a lazy river instead. I don't want to ride any waves. I want to be on a lazy river. But but going back to that heart space, I really, really like that. I do believe that many of us now are missing that part because we were taught to think through everything. We were taught that our emotions are bad. We were taught so many things. But you have an analogy, not an
I
analogy. What
do.
is
I do.
yes.
It's so true because yes, we're taught to like I don't know if anybody else has heard this. Put your feelings in your pocket and keep going. We don't have time to put, especially if there has been some kind of trauma or significant emotional events or patterns. It's like keep moving. But all of that sometimes gets stuck in our heart and in our body, and we can become disconnected. So one of the challenges that you had mentioned, or like that's also impacting women, is because we're so overloaded. We're not connected to our heart or our body or the present moment. So
Right.
there's a really great scripture that I put on my kitchen. It's in my kitchen because I need to be reminded of it. I don't look at it as much now because it's ingrained, but it says, "Let all that you do be done in love." Let all that you
Mhm.
do be done in love. This also goes into even when we're dealing with other people. There was a quote that this book that I did not finish reading, but it was talking about like the power of the praying wife or something. And it said, do right more than be right, and give love more than get even. So one of the things that happens is like, okay, someone is like, the unconscious mind and heart will take things personally. Someone's mean or they're angry, and then we feel a certain way inside, and we take it personally, like it has something to do with us when it has nothing to do with us and everything to do with the other person. So that causes us also to kind of strink our scrunch our heart as well. But I have a meaning for the word love that I want to be able to share that's going to support us in opening this heart, because it's out of the heart where true prosperity flows. Like when, like, yes, we're taught for the overthinking, but when the mind and the heart and the body and our energy are aligned and connected, we're grounded. We feel good in our skin. We're able to know which way to go. It's not like an uncertainty or second guessing. We know we know who we are, and we can actually enjoy the journey that we're on. So the first one letter, L, L stands for let go and let flow. Let go and let flow. A lot of times we hold on. So here's how interesting and beautiful our mind is that creates these patterns where maybe there's this pattern of holding on to the things that have hurt you. Well, if we don't heal what hurt us, we're going to bleed over people who don't deserve it. And the truth is that, we all have been hurt. We all have had things in our past that are taught to not bring us down to make us have limiting beliefs about ourselves, but they're taught to be able to have awareness that we can be able to share even the heaviest of stories. We can heal them, make them light, and share them from a place of empowerment. So therefore, our love lessons are not just for us, but they're also for people that we're called to serve. And there's a beauty in that. And it's sometimes, what do you do when some of those stories are too difficult to share? That's where that part is about healing them, letting go and make it healing and making it light. So therefore, you can let it flow and share from this place of empowerment. I think
Mhm.
one of the richest places that's in the world that they say is the graveyard, because there's so many unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled expectations, unfulfilled passions.
Mhm.
And the heart is really calling for, it's more subtle than the mind. The mind will scream at you, and the heart will have this beautiful side, like, well, you pay attention to me. That's our beautiful feminine energy. It's interesting, like that do mode, like that we usually operate, all that's masculine, all that's tough and hard. But we're called to be in our queendom, in our unique queendom. And what happens with the queen? The queen is like, this is who she is. She has support as well, and she leads and that navigates the way to go. She's not overloaded or blown away by all this trivial stuff.
Yeah.
In the big picture of things, it is a little trivial. So let me go into the O, because that's going to be a whole different tangent. The O stands for open your heart to receive.
Mm.
Open your heart to receive. So, yes, so my heart, and I'll just share with y'all a little bit of my journey. My heart had a beautiful brick wall around it. It was like an impenetrable force, okay? And it was because there were so many heartaches, so many heart wounds,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many like attacks and judgments and criticism from other people. I was like, computers are safe. So I'm going to go into computers and then I don't have to deal with people. Well, this is the opposite and contradictory, of course, when we come into entrepreneurship, because it is
Yeah.
about relationship and it is about connection and it is about being able to understand. When I was teaching earlier today, I was talking about networking and the power of networking. And some people love it, some people hate it. And I was one of those people that totally hated it because I had a fear of people. And now I love people more because I love myself and God even
Mm.
more. The more that we can be able to have that love for self, God, self, and then we can even be able to give out more to love to others. And now I'm like, I love networking. Yes, who can I meet? How can I, so it's that joy of opening your heart to receive all the beautiful blessings and abundance that we're called to be able to have. And that comes through other people, places, situations, experiences. So let your heart have a process and a play in the decision making.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It is safe there.
It is safe there. It is safe there. All right, let me go to the next one. The next one is V. The next one is okay, wait. I want to go back one more time to the O.
Okay.
I know that forgiveness is not easy. Have you ever been pissed off at someone? Hopefully I can say pissed off on YouTube. I think we can.
I think we
Um, and then you see here or feel you've been pissed off at someone, and then you're like, okay, I've forgiven this person. And then you see, hear, or feel something, and it pisses you off all over again. You're like, I thought I have let this go.
can.
Well,
Mhm.
there's just another layer of forgiveness. Forgiveness of self and others, I think, is the most crucial thing right now. Forgiving
Mhm.
yourself for you know not what you did. I was thinking about when I was 23 and I was like, oh my goodness, I was so young and dumb. What the heck was I thinking? All right, I forgive myself for I have no idea what I did. Forgiving other people for they know not what they do as well,
Mm.
right? And it's a gift for you and even and also as a gift for the other person. We want to be able to
Yeah.
see ourselves in a new light. We want to see other people in a new light. That actually allows us to activate our presence power even more. So I just wanted to go back to that open your heart to receive because there's the powerful piece. And it leads
Yeah.
into the V, which stands for victory is already yours. If you
Mhm.
were given the calling, if you were given the calling for a business, if you were given a calling for being a wife, if you were given the calling for being a mom, victory is already yours. It's just about how do we want to be while we're walking in it. I think the
Mm.
biggest challenge, Sally, that came when that had me aware to pay attention to my inner world was really becoming a mom and becoming a wife. Like, what are these triggers? What are these things? There was so much confusion and uncertainty and all of this, especially when you're dealing with other people. The most
Yeah.
intimate relationships are your biggest teachers, ladies. The
Absolutely.
most intimate relationships are your biggest teachers. And we're called to have unity and united there. But if you were given this calling, then victory is already yours. It's just about being able to walk in it and figure out how do you pivot to navigate and walking in it with a lot of ease, grace, flow, fun, the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, patience, kindness,
Mm.
self-control,
Mm.
generosity, you
Mhm.
know?
Mm. Yeah.
That's such a good one because what happens is on the journey, especially of entrepreneurship, and even especially on the journey of being a mom or even on the journey of being a wife, there's the evolution and there's these times of thinking how much, so much of like the negativity is because of our negative emotions that get preyed on. And
Mhm.
we are like missing the beauty and the blessings of these relationships if there is, how can I say, doubt, uncertainty on the truth of the calling. So many people give up. Have you ever heard that message about people or like where people give up like right before the gold?
Yeah.
It's about continuing the process. So if you were given a calling, whatever that calling is, there's a reason why you were given that calling. And that's another one I could go into much more detail with, but that is the part of remembering the victory is already yours. So it's
Mhm.
about continuing the journey,
Yeah.
pivoting, navigating, still having that total exponential acceleration, even letting go of how it was before. That's something that's super hard. So
Yeah.
think about, so when my daughter was born, the first year they change every day. The first year you change every day. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're changing again, we're growing. And how many times do we want to hold on to, I wish you were like this,
Right.
right? But it's about being able to get comfortable with the change. The only constant is change. And
Mm.
a lot of times our inner world will resist it.
Yes. And that's part of that struggle with the heart, resistance of any sort. And I love what you were saying about, don't take it personally. It's not about you, which enables forgiveness. It makes it easier to forgive and easier to move forward and let go of things and wanting them to be the same
Correct.
because it's
Correct.
not about you or me. what's going on with Susie is has nothing to do with me. It's all
Well,
her
and
perception of me.
one of the things that I love, thank you for sharing that, because this is one of the reasons, like the work that I do is looking at what's also going on in the patterns of the mind and the heart space and the energy and even the body of other people. Right? Because you can be able to see, especially when you have this wisdom, also what's going on within self, but also what's going on within other people. You're easier able to see, oh, where did this come from? Oh, how did this not? Oh, it was this pattern of how they were. So you can see what's happening at a deeper level to even not take it personally.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it's an awesome opportunity for them. We just naturally have a gift as women to want to take it on. Don't take it on. You just go ahead and let that process go and ask that question. God, is there anything in this for me? It was a message in this for me. Am I supposed to do anything about, okay, you got this? Okay, cool. And let it go. Goes back to the L. Sometimes we will let something go and then we'll pick it right back up again and create it, and it's our problem. No, we're gonna break free
Yeah,
from that, ladies, for sure.
that's right. That's not yours. And so
Uh,
we have one more letter.
One more letter. One more letter. The last letter is the word E or E, the letter E. And it stands for everyone has a lion or a lioness inside. Everyone. So this is a really deep one, because when I say everyone has a lion or a lioness inside, each person is so beautiful, so royal. They may not even know it or have any awareness or any connection to it. And the
Mhm.
thing is, so you want to see people in the eyes that God sees them. You want to see yourself in the eyes how God sees you. Like it's almost like, okay, we're amazing, wonderfully, fearfully, and beautifully made, but then we want to also make sure we own that and receive that, not only for ourselves. The more that you receive it for yourself, the easier it is for you to be able to see in others people. And this is one of the reasons why I love the power of coaching, because with coaching, it literally, you're able to see the and honor the beautiful light in someone else, and then also it supports you in elevating your light too. It's
Yeah.
best personal and professional development you could ever have, where you get paid for it, is the power of coaching. That's one of the reasons why I love teaching it and certifying people in that, especially with emotional intelligence. So it's
Mm.
about honoring that voice. So much wisdom, so much messages, so many stories that you have inside of you. And Maya Angelou, the famous poet and also activist, she had said the greatest agony is an untold story
Mhm.
that is stuck inside of you. I can't remember how she put it, but that's
Yeah.
such a so what do? We got to share these stories. We got to share these messages. You got to share your journey and
Right.
your testimony, because other people are ready to hear it. And lives are literally being lost as a result of us not showing up in our full light. Now, this is irrelevant of whether you have a business or whether you're working and working and have coworkers and stuff like that. We can be the change, or even if you're just a stay-at-home mom, you're leading in some capacity, right? So as you honor your lioness, guess what that does as a mom? It gives your kids, even though they're interestingly and strongly opinionated, I got a 12-year-old going on 30, but it gives them permission to be able to own and honor the lion and lioness in them.
And have you
Man.
ever seen a lioness upset and hold it back? No.
Correct. Correct.
They just are like, none of that around me. And
Mm-mm.
it's not like they get like overly, as soon as that's over, they step back. They've done what they had to do. They said what they had to say. And it's not like an attack. Well, I guess sometimes it is, but if they're if they're saying you're in my space, or that's my kid, you know, so that I love that
Oh, that
analogy.
was
That's
so good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It was
yeah,
so good what you highlighted, because it really is about enforcing and honoring and owning your boundaries and your values and having that
everything
expression.
and
So
beautiful at the same time.
in a beautiful way. You can say anything is always the energy behind you say it, how you say it, right? So if you
Yep.
have that aloha energy with what you're saying, man, no one can come against that.
That's right. Right. When you say something with confidence, I mean, how many times have you just walked into a room and just just said, this is what I think? And for some, if you're really coming from your heart or you're really coming from your truth, what you know to be true for you, it's so much easier to just speak it and let it go. And people
Correct.
will honor you for that. But I
Mm,
think when
so
our
true.
emotion gets in there, then you get that charge, and that's not what that's not what we want to emulate, although it's a lesson too, right? Like you had said, our family members, our intimate relationships are pushing all our buttons. I mean, that's why we chose them, right?
Yes.
Only we didn't know it. So
Yes.
that is fabulous. I love that. That's acronym. That was the word I was trying to think of. So we have L, let go and let flow. O is open your heart to receive. V is victory is already yours. And E, everyone has a lion or lioness inside.
That is it. That is correct.
I love
And I
that.
want everyone to comment below and let us know which one of those spoke most to you, right? So
Yes.
therefore we would love to hear your wisdom as well. And is it
Yeah.
okay, Sally, if I give a gift?
Oh yeah, I'll include the link to it in the chat. I mean in the show
Okay,
notes.
perfect. So
Yeah,
for
thank you.
everyone
So
who's
tell us about
listening,
it.
yes. So for everyone who's listening, regardless of whether you own your business or you work from home or you're home oh my goodness, home, what's the word?
Well,
Stay
like
at home mom.
yeah, home management, home ec. I
Yeah,
mean all
home
those things.
management. That is
Yeah,
a job in itself.
yeah,
Okay. So that is
totally.
super
And then you've
important.
got child management.
Right. I have 7 secrets to more biz life harmony success. And in this guide is going to give you 7 secrets. So regardless of whether you're in business or not, this is going to be able to definitely support you in stepping into your queendom and your empowerment. And then over the next 7 days, I also give you 7 more secrets. So going to anotherlevelliving.com/harmony will be able to get you that gift. And I highly recommend that you get it. And my biggest takeaway that I want to be able to share, and this is from the bottom of my heart. We've had so many issues with domestic violence over the last, like so many different, like so many situations that have happened over the last couple of months that have been come to the forefront that are challenges for women. This is why I talk about business and life harmony.
Mhm.
Number one, no matter who you think you are, you're so much more important than that. You're so much more than that. And the as you embrace and honor all the more and the amazingness of you from the inside out, when there's no conflict within you and you're able to shine your full light, nothing externally will touch you. It's
Mhm.
so interesting. People could have any kind of like judgment, criticism, opinion. It's like, oh, it's so interesting. It has nothing to do, like nothing externally can touch you. So I would recommend owning your uniqueness, your greatness, your queendom, and being the change that you wish to see, and just watch how your whole world around you changes.
Wow. Thank you for that, Dr. Heather.
Oh,
That was really fabulous. Own your worth and your power. And who wouldn't want to be around this energy a little bit more? So you guys really, really, it'll be in the notes. We want to hear what you have to say for sure. But also make sure that you follow up, take advantage of Dr. Heather's generous offer, her gift to you. And so, and put in what your takeaway is from this conversation that we've had today. So I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to thank everybody else who is listening now or later. And we value you and your opinion. And if you got something from this, please follow, please share, spread the word because you are worth everything you want, everything you dream of. You wouldn't want it if you didn't have a way to get it, if it wasn't available to you. And as Dr. Heather says, that's, own that part of you. Remember love and what it really, really means.
Oh, I love
So,
that. Thank you so much, Sally, so much for your time today. Love and appreciate all of you.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.